Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes.
People.
Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't stop it on me, though. I'm not. Well, you get this one, man.
Ain't no jumping out. When Joe Rogan saw Gervonta tank Davis's new physique ahead of the Jake Paul fight, the man nearly short-circuited mid-podcast. You could hear that trademark Rogan switch flip, half scientist, half hype machine. He stared at the training clips like he'd just spotted Bigfoot doing deadlifts. Dude looks like he's been forged in a powerlifting lab, Rogan said, and honestly, facts. Tank's traps are sitting so high he needs air traffic control clearance, shoulders wide enough to host a small cookout, and that frame.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. But he finds these openings, and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
Bro went from compact assassin to walking tank, literally. Then Joe did what Joe does, broke it all down like a human physics engine. He started talking punch velocity, hip torque, fast twitch muscle fibers, the whole science fair. But the real mic drop came when Rogan called him a mini Mike Tyson with modern training science. That's not just a compliment, that's a prophecy. Rogan wasn't just hyped, he was borderline giddy, like he'd found a new species of athlete. If Jake thinks this version of Tank is coming in for a points win, Joe grinned, he's out of his mind. That dude's coming to end it early.
Interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
You could tell Rogan wasn't just fanboying, he was witnessing a metamorphosis. Tank's not just adding muscle, he's weaponizing it. It's like watching evolution hit the fast forward button. This isn't Tank 2.0 that's too soft. This is Tank Davis reloaded, the version that shows up not to fight, but to finish. After Joe Rogan finished nerding out and basically dubbed Tank Mike Tyson with Wi-Fi, Wade Plemons stepped in like the fight game Sherlock Holmes, magnifying glass out, breaking down every slow-motion frame of destruction. And man, it got spicy. Wade wasn't watching a boxer train, he was watching a storm being engineered. You could practically hear the suspense music as he pointed out Tank's new rhythm. The head feints, the trap setups, the subtle, I know exactly where your liver lives energy. Meanwhile, Calvin Ford's in the corner, looking like a mad scientist who just discovered caffeine and chaos. Clipboard in hand, eyes locked on Tank like he's decoding the matrix of Jake Paul's bad habits. Every twitch, every tell, every time Jake drops that lead hand, Ford's probably jotting it down like, cool, there's where we end the fight. This isn't training camp, this is premeditated dominance. Tank's not out there shadowboxing, he's rehearsing Jake's downfall. And that body work? Oh, it's not just conditioning, it's culinary. Tank's cooking ribs, slow and methodical, like Sunday barbecue with bad intentions. Every punch to the body is another welcome to hell, please sign here message. By the time Wade wraps up, you realize this isn't hype, it's strategy. Tank's out here turning boxing into a chess match where the pieces bleed. So yeah, when fight night comes, don't be surprised if Jake Paul looks up from the canvas, wondering how he ended up in a National Geographic special titled Predator vs. Influencer. You watch the new footage and realize Tank's not just bulked up, he's leveled up. Bigger, stronger, faster, sure, but smarter too. This isn't brute force, it's brain power dipped in menace. Calvin Ford's not in that corner screaming for chaos. He's out here playing 4D chess with a sledgehammer. The whole strategy looks like, how do I make a YouTuber regret having long arms? You can practically see it. Tank digging to the body, Jake's guard sliding down like a bad Wi-Fi signal, and boom, fatigue sets in. The tables flip and the script gets rewritten in pain. People keep calling it an exhibition circus, but nothing about these clips screams casual. Tank's training like the Netflix camera crew are just extras in a gladiator movie he's directing. Calvin Ford's in the lab, whispering fear into precision, turning anxiety into a weapon. This isn't Tank showing off, this is Tank plotting a hostile takeover. Every combo's a message. Every exhale says, I don't miss twice. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get spicier, Lamont Roach Sr. walks in and drops boardroom bombs. Man didn't talk punches, he talked profit margins. He straight up said Tank skipped his rematch to chase Netflix money like, forget belts, I'm chasing the algorithm. Bro turned the boxing ring into a startup pitch meeting. And honestly, he's not wrong explaining this fight to an old school boxing fan sounds insane. Yeah, the pound for pound knockout artist is fighting the dude who used to vlog pranks at Walmart. Roach's take, brutal but fair. You can't just ghost your rematch for a bigger check. Sure, but let's be real, that's half of Hollywood and 3/4 of TikTok's business model. Still, skipping legacy fights for clicks? That's a move even your conscience side eyes. But here's the twist, legacy or not. Tank's not showing up for entertainment. He's showing up to end a narrative. Jake Paul can punch, yeah, but Tank's a pocket-sized apocalypse. This isn't influencer boxing anymore. This is a hit job in HD. Jake might walk in thinking it's another content collab, but when that bell rings, he's gonna realize something quick. Tank Davis doesn't do partnerships. He does punishments. Right after Lamont Roach Sr. went full Wall Street meltdown over Tank's Netflix over honor move, his son, Lamont Roach Jr., came through like a flamethrower at a press conference. No filters, no PR polish, just straight heat. He basically said what everyone else was too scared to tweet. Tank didn't just skip the rematch, he swerve parked into the influencer carnival like he was headlining Coachella. And the disrespect? Chef's kiss. Roach didn't even sugarcoat it, he called it for laughs. Imagine grinding your whole life for a shot at redemption, only to watch the dude who beat you go film a pay-per-view prank with gloves on. That's not boxing beef, that's career level trolling. And you can't even blame Roach for snapping the man wanted smoke, not streaming rights. Tank chasing Jake Paul looks wild from the outside, but let's be honest, the money in this fight is so loud it's probably echoing in his sparring sessions. Still, legacy doesn't live on TikTok, and if Tank really plans to call it a career after this, that's like Iron Man retiring because his action figures sold out. Sure, the bag's beautiful, but at what cost? Jake Paul's walking in with 200 pounds of brand deals, hashtags, and confidence that probably deserves its own corner man. Tank, on the other hand, is pure muscle and menace. A human missile with a PhD in pain. This fight is either going to be the shortest main event in pay-per-view history, or a marketing masterclass so big Netflix might greenlight a sequel. Boxing used to be high drama on HBO, now it's trending on YouTube with thumbnail faces and OMG captions. But let's be real, we're all tuning in, popcorn ready, because when Tank steps in that ring, something viral, violent, and very, very expensive is about to break the internet. Here's the twist though, this isn't just a fight, this is a social experiment in gloves. Jake Paul, the internet's chaos ambassador, squaring up against Gervonta Davis, a man who literally carved his name out of Baltimore grit and blood. It's influencer culture versus real fighter DNA, the algorithm versus the art form, and the truth, they both need this. Jake's chasing validation, Tank's chasing immortality outside the boxing bubble. If Tank cracks Jake clean, that's not a knockout, that's a cultural reset. That's boxing reclaiming its crown from the meme lords. But if Jake Paul somehow, someway survives, maybe even drags Tank into deep waters, oh man, the internet might collapse under the weight of that upset. But we're talking about the birth of the most hated success story in combat sports history. Either way, this isn't a fight, it's a collision for cultural custody. Legacy versus likes, skill versus spectacle. And when that first bell rings, one of them's about to learn you can't game the fight game, not when the other guy's built for consequences.